Please welcome Mia Montero, Sam Bass, and Lucas Friedman, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mia, Sam, and Lucas. Good evening, Mrs. Ratner, Mr. McKinney, members of the Board of Education, special guests, parents, teachers, and friends. It is my pleasure to introduce Peyton Hopak.
Welcome, Mrs. Ratner, Mr. McKinney, members of the Board of Education, Mr. Geiger, Mrs. Acosta, faculty, family, and friends. Today is a day that is one step forward in all of our educational journeys. To me, middle school has been a horse race. You must start strong coming out of the gate, or it's difficult to recover. That was my goal in 6th grade, to have a great start to my middle school career. The first day for most was traumatizing. For me, it was one of the best days of my life because I finally got to go to school with all my friends I've been playing sports with over the years. I was comfortable with opening my locker and got to all my classes on time. One of my favorite things about middle school was Mrs. Bokoch's class. She was super funny and made everyone feel welcomed. There were some bumps in the road, but she taught me how to get through those and how to come out successful. I also joined peer leadership in 6th grade. It taught me many skills such as project building and different ways to raise money. Now, in the middle of the race, you must stay in the pack to give yourself a chance. That's all I tried to do. My goal was to get decent grades and to make it into accelerated science. Science was terrific, as it made me really excited about curious topics I never thought about. I've always wanted to go to the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. It turns out they have a great medical program, and since I want to be a doctor, I'm really excited. Mrs. Bowling's EP was so much fun, as everyone in the class knew it was a time each day to relax and enjoy. Annie Lanzalato, a guest writer, made me really start to love writing, as I still write every day because of her. Here comes the home stretch, when the burners come on and you race to the finish line. My goal in 8th grade was to jump out of the pack and to make a difference in this school. The Pocono trip was terrific. There was so much to do, such as zip lining and swimming in the huge pool. The Spanish trip really caught my attention, as we learned so much about the Spanish culture, such as singing and dancing. The food at Don Pepe's was also muy delicioso. Finally, Mrs. Corley's awake moments changed the mood of my day every time I stepped into her classroom. Sometimes they were super funny, but other times they were serious and really touched the heart. Milton Berle once said, "If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door." The quote means, if you feel you're not going to get an opportunity freshman year, then create an opportunity and make the most out of it. I would like to congratulate my fellow classmates on their terrific achievement today, and I would also like to thank them as well as my parents, family, faculty, and everyone else who made this moment possible from the minute I stepped into Columbia Middle School. Thank you.
Good job.
Should I just leave this on here?
Good job. I'll take it.
Okay.
Nicely done, Peyton. Thank you very much. It's my honor to introduce Mrs. Judith Ratner, Superintendent of Schools.
Could I ask everyone to please give Peyton one more round of applause? He did such a fine job. As I stand here today, I kind of reflect back to the moments when some of you were coming off the buses at Mary Kay McMillan School or when you were in locker day at Columbia. I feel exceptionally fortunate to be able to share in this special celebration with all of you. I know that you have been supported throughout your educational career thus far by your family, friends, and teachers. Most importantly, your parents have supported you through the wonderful times and the more challenging times. I am sure that their hearts are filled with love and pride as you begin this new journey. Remember that they have helped you to become the fine person you are today. Please give them a round of applause. Graduates, as you move forward to face new challenges and embrace new opportunities, there are 5 critical qualities I hope you remember. The first is commitment. Vince Lombardi observed that the quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to their commitment to excellence, regardless of their chosen field or endeavor. Please be committed to whatever you do in life. The second quality is respect. Jackie Robinson is famous for saying, "I'm not concerned with your liking me or disliking me. All I ask is that you respect me." I want you to remember that it is respect on all levels, respect for oneself, for others, for authority, and for the rules that will help to make you successful. Opportunity is the third trait I want you to remember. Please know that every single day is a new opportunity. Remember to build on yesterday's successes, put your failures behind you, and start over again. The next quality I want you to recall as you move to the next phase of your life is passion. The most successful people in the world have one thing in common. It is their undying passion for what they do. Theodore Roosevelt once stated, "Far and away the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing." And Katharine Graham shared, "To love what you do and feel that it matters, how could anything be more fun?" So remember to have passion for everything you choose to do in life. The final trait is service. Winston Churchill stated, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Remember to give of yourself by serving your community and always helping others. As you continue along your journey, please keep these 5 words in mind: commitment, respect, opportunity, passion, and service. These are the traits and qualities that will help you to grow and to positively influence your educational career and, most importantly, your life. Members of the class of 2016, please note that each moment is a gift that you must embrace and cherish. I hope your dreams take you to the corners of your smiles, to the highest of your hopes, to the windows of your opportunities, and to the most special places your heart has ever known. On behalf of the entire Columbia Middle School community, I wish to each of you the happiness of a productive life, the respect of others, the love of your family, and continued success. May the future be yours. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Berkeley Heights Board of Education Vice President, Mr. William Cassano. Mr. Cassano, it is my pleasure to present the 2016 graduates of Columbia Middle School for the award of their diplomas.
On behalf of the Board of Education, I enthusiastically accept that recommendation, and I want to share the board's confidence that these graduates will thrive under the leadership of Mr. Nixon and his staff at GL next year.
Thank you, Mrs. Ratner. Thank you, Mr. Cassano. Awarding of the diplomas this evening will be assisted by Olivia Mastria and Justin Ledzinski.
Mr. Cassano, would you join us, please? Emily Murphy. Aiden McGuire. Madison Lopes. Rachel Green. Rachel Erdrich. Madison Collins. Peyton Hopek. Daniela Aiello. Joseph Rowenbeck. Sarah McGlynn. Alexandra Ganelli. Michael Bruno. Aaron Rosenberg. Michelle Hom. Emma D'Annunzio. Arya McVerma. Alexa Miranda. Olivia Internosha. Christina Internosha. Benjamin Santori. Zoe O'Halloran. Juliana Maneri. Christian Machin. Claudia Hibbs. Janie Gow. Taylor Charles. Gabriel Caprio. Youngshu Zhang. Brandon Woods. David Schwartzman. Lauren Cronin. Mark Pergola. Harvin Mummick. Julia McConaughey. Isabel Lynn. Blake Johnson. Daniel Feely. Erin English. Jack Beffler. Amanda Antonelli. Matthew Yoss. Thank you, Mr. Casano. Miss Riley, would you join us, please? Megan Buckley. Soham Agnihotri. Jocelyn Chen. Cody Tomchek. Diana Valverde. Christopher Rampal Pino. Rachel Mustachi. Brandon Matos. Gabrielle Lombardi. Blaine Jory. Raul Carweano. Mackenzie Kalishman. Scott Byer. Sophia Zarelli. Zara Wonka. Julia Shea, Olivia Rudgard, Deanna Rodriguez, Evan Rinaldi, Amanda Palizzi, Krista Parisi, Dylan Verschleiser, Antonio Pellegrini, Sean Lee, Allison Hagan, Dylan Caparelli, Bryce Irvin, Joseph Wang, Samantha Wallace, Jacob Titus, Andrew Siska, Sarah Sequeira, Sheila Roth, Alana Rocco, Allison Quinn, Sean Marone, Alexandra Matthews, Michelle Lenahan, Reed Kiernan, Bethany Frith, Arden Foster, Mario Coronado, Thank you, Miss Riley. Mr. Sincaglia, would you join us, please? Noam Rottenberg, Richard Wood, Brennan Hawkins, Emily Scheib, Ryan Harder, Brendan Curran, Marissa Young, Justin Van Oostendorp, Vedant Modi, Caitlin Escott, William Coyle, Zion Sang, Daniel Sternberg, Jeffrey Stepien, Jessica Polis, Connor Pierce, Charles Milano, Jonathan Izzo, Jessica Henriquez, Valerie Diamond, Thomas Candeloro, Raul Carvellano,
Samuel Bass. Jordan Guerin. David Martinez. Lucas Friedman. Connor Ville. Christian Isola. Taylor Rooney. Amelia Gordon. Carla Arcaceta. Zaina Murad. Subhashish Mukherjee. Mackenzie Lloyd. Stephen Fudena. Mayan Amkraut. Josephine Kwan. Mia Montero. Danielle Curtis. Mitchell Zalis. Nishka Abraham. Mark Marino. Thank you, Mr. Sincaglia. Dr. Crisanino, would you join us, please? Taylor O'Nelly. Evan Polita. Tamar Novik. Nicholas Machin. Sienna Joseph. Amy Sherman. Amber Scholes. Alexandra Cassou. Alexandra Buono. Raina Tarandash. Matthew Sternheim. Aoife Rouse. Scott Pyle. Jackson Osborne. Vincent Malusi. Kira Liu. Harrison Kelly. Julie Ederman. Macy Campano. Alexander Arenas. Amanda Zhang. Christopher D'Amato. Victoria Van Riel. Kimberly Baumjardim. Jessica Zhao. Alita Solfero. Kylie Sheridan. Joseph Scalora. Colleen Q. Gauthami Morkanat Gopakumar. Claudia Maneri. Ryan Lee. Neil Chahil. Kristen Cabe. Bella Barbosa. Lauren Ziska. Peter Wu. Nicholas Sternheim. Allison Shakatano. Jacob Roth. Maria Rivero. Ava Reiner. Thank you, Dr. Crisanino. Mr. Smalley, would you join us, please? Ryan Devaney. Sean Pyle. Luke Landano. Megan Connect. Matthew Zhao. Matthew Apollonia. Isabella Yee. John Walsh. Matthew Katz. Madison Stein. Skylar Dowling. Michael Del Sordo. Charlotte Roeder. Brenna Riley. Shannon Palomeni. Sean McCulloch. Thomas Lynn. Erica Kolbach. Benjamin Grimes. Al Germansky. Sarah Foy. John Gallick. Connor Bigelow. Noah Jackal. Jessica Dyer. Chris Rojas. Alexander Delargy. Benjamin Cook. Alec Wolf. Jonathan Sternberg. Dylan McManus. Casey King. Corey Diezik. Danielle Yablanovsky. Daniel Timmerman. Alana Robinson. Amaya Rains. Christopher Pullis. Lucas Piccinini. Matthew Mann. Olivia Haddad. Lily Dowell. Olivia Mastria.
Justin Ludzinski.
That was so well done. Students, please stand and be recognized once more. Thank you. Please welcome Mr. Robert Nixon, Principal of Governor Livingston High School.
Good evening. As the principal of Governor Livingston High School, I would first like to congratulate our 8th grade students of Berkeley Heights on all that they have accomplished. You've made your parents and teachers very proud. I would also like to welcome the class of 2020 to Highlander Country. Governor Livingston is a great school with many diverse offerings that will inspire you and encourage you to be the best you can be. With that in mind, we look forward to seeing you up here on the Hill in September. Have a safe and enjoyable summer.
Thank you, Mr. Nixon. Ladies and gentlemen, the Columbia Middle School Commencement Chorus. Thank you, students. Thanks to Mr. Culinary and Mr. Elefante for directing this evening's music. Beautifully done. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Amelia Gordon.
Good evening. We are gathered here today to celebrate the ending of one milestone and the start of another. In just a few short months, my classmates and I will be at Governor Livingston High School, carrying with us all of our cherished memories of Columbia. To me, middle school was like a play. 6th grade was the writing of the script, 7th grade was when we were all still learning some of our lines, and 8th grade was the big performance. Just like when you are putting on an actual play, by the end, everyone in the cast and crew aren't even friends anymore. They're a family. I think my middle school experience was the same way. The start of 6th grade was the writing of my play. I remember walking in the doors on the first day completely terrified because I barely knew anyone. Once I got past my fear, I realized that making friends wasn't nearly as hard as I had made it out to be. I met new people and reunited with old friends in pretty much every class. I even met some new people on my bus. One thing I will always remember from 6th grade is Mrs. Bokach telling me that whether I wanted to be or not, I was a leader. That simple sentence has always stuck with me and motivated me to be a leader and not a follower, to write my own script. 7th grade was the play rehearsals, and I was still learning some of my lines. My year started out well when I found out that I had an end locker, giving me all the space I needed to learn my lines in comfort. From the first day, I knew that 7th grade was going to be a good year. From Mrs. McGann's great upbeat attitude to not being the little kids anymore, everything was looking bright. 7th grade was also when I started to develop a love for writing. Mrs. Healy would have her friend, Annie, who is a writer, come in and teach us about poetry. Without her, I don't think I would have the passion for creative writing that I do today. Finally, there was 8th grade, the final performance of my Columbia Middle School play. I remember that I wasn't even nervous on the first day of 8th grade. I was excited. I knew the lay of the land, and we were finally at the top of the school. From iPads to the Poconos trip, 8th grade was full of perks. I have also made so many new friends this year, and I cannot wait to see what our futures at Governor Livingston have in store for us. 8th grade was without a doubt the perfect final act of my Columbia Middle School play. As Yogi Berra once said, "It ain't over till it's over." I can fortunately say that it is definitely not over. Even though we are leaving Columbia behind, my classmates and I still have our whole lives and school careers ahead of us. As we move on to high school, it will be the beginning of a new play and a new part of our lives, but I have no doubt that it will be amazing. I would like to congratulate all of my fellow classmates on this outstanding milestone in our lives. I would also like to say thank you to the wonderful faculty here at Columbia, my family, and my friends who have become my second family. Thank you.
So well done. You want to take that? Thank you, Amelia. That was so well done. Folks, didn't they do a great job? I'd like to thank the PTO for providing refreshments today and welcome you all to our promotion ceremonies. Students, can we ask our staff and teachers to stand and be recognized? Thank you all. We are very lucky to have such a talented and dedicated team. Mrs. Acosta, would you please stand? Thank you for a great year. How is it possible that the year has gone by so quickly? Seems like just yesterday we were enjoying Give Back Days. Students, Recall when you were in 7th grade in English class and you were asked to share a poem in your pocket? You would sit outside with your teacher and take turns reading to each other. Your teachers, Mrs. Einhorn and Mrs. Healy, would prompt you afterwards with a question of why. Why did you choose to read that particular poem? Some of you found the poems funny. Others reminded you of something you had in common. Perhaps that day you felt like you had gotten to the place where the sidewalk ends. I didn't visit with each group, but I do recall that I joined you there on the pavement and shared one of my favorite poems from Robert Frost. Like so many of you who enjoyed Shel Silverstein, I have spent many quiet moments reading from my old friend, Mr. Frost. There's a story about Robert Frost that I thought I'd share with you. Like you and your friends on Poem in Your Pocket Day, Frost was invited to a gathering to read some of his work. He stood at a podium, like this one, and for 2 hours shared his poems, flipping through the pages in front of him. When he was done, he stepped off the stage, shook hands with a few people, and walked out of the auditorium. Realizing the value of those pages left on stage, a few people ran up to the podium to claim them. What they found was surprising. The pages were all blank. Robert Frost had read from memory for those 2 hours. The folks in the audience were surprised that the old man had all those poems memorized in his head. I came to a different conclusion when I read that story, that Frost had not kept his work in his head, but that he held it in his heart. He hadn't simply been reading poems, but sharing his passion. So the question I bring to the students tonight is, what are you passionate about? After 3 years of conversations that included an amazing array of topics, what has sparked an interest in you, and how will you take advantage of the access you have to fuel that interest? A few weeks ago, when some of you were auditioning to speak here today, we had a wonderful time with Mrs. Babick listening to your speeches. So many of you talked about the fear of entering middle school, how your teachers and counselor made you feel welcome, and the challenges you faced, how the hill got steeper in 7th grade, and how by mid-year in 8th grade, GL was already on the horizon. Well, that time too has passed. GL is no longer on the horizon. As a matter of fact, it's right over there. And I know many of you will be disappointed to hear this, but Mrs. Acosta and I are keeping Ms. DeLauro with us. Has time gone by as quickly for you as it has for me? Take a second and recall your first day at Columbia Middle School. Norman Juster, author of The Phantom Tollbooth, once said, "The most important reason for going from one place to another is to see what's in between." You are about to go from here up to GL, and guess what? Right back here to these seats 4 years from today. Today is exciting, and you've done so well. That day 4 years from now will be terrific too, but it will be the time you spend in between getting back to these seats that will be the most important days of your lives. Students, it's time to consider a few things. If you aren't the type to take a moment to think about what it is you would like to do next, but instead would allow yourselves to be influenced by someone else's plan, the summer months are a great time to organize some priorities. Recall the young people from Project Pride, inmates who shared their incredible sorrow-filled stories. Each one of them were following a plan as well, but it was someone else's plan that they let influence their own, and it took them to a place they would never imagine. The summer before 9th grade is a great time to sit with your family and think about what's next. But start slow. Begin by discussing one thing that you want to learn, improve, or change. Did you find out in tech or life skills that you enjoyed working with your hands? Expand on that and make something. Did you find magic in the books you read during your time at the middle school? Open your mind even more and read something no one tells you to read. Did you learn that you enjoyed working as a peer leader? How can you apply those good feelings by helping to save something or start something? The world is different than when I sat in your places. Very different. It's available to you even at your young age. I dare you to explore it. Look in your heart and don't be afraid to call something your passion. Most successful people will tell you, I am successful because I do what I love to do. Olympian swimmer Michael Phelps said, I like to just think of myself as a normal person who just has a passion, has a goal and a dream, and goes out and does it. And that's really how I've always lived my life. And guys, that's a very good plan. Folks, as I do every year, I took some time recently to talk to some of our friends here about their plans for the next 4 years, and I'd like to share a little bit of what I've learned. Could I ask Megan Buckley to wave so I know where she is? Hi, Megan. Uh-oh, Megan, right? Megan shared with me that if she had the opportunity to speak today, she would ask her fellow students to stay true to yourselves and not worry so much about what others think, but surround yourself with a positive peer group. And remember, we're all going to make it through. Megan, thank you for sharing. I believe you, and I hope you keep your good friends and that you can all support each other next year and the years beyond. Thank you. Ben Santori was fairly direct when I spoke to him. Ben? Good job tonight, Ben. Ben shared this, that each of his classmates should strive for good grades, meet new people, stay positive, stay cool, and never give up. Ben, you have not only given good advice, but a fairly accurate description of yourself. I want to wish you all the best next year and good luck in high school. I'm sure that night long ago when Robert Frost read to the people, he shared this single-line poem that states, "We dance around the ring and suppose, but the secret sits in the middle and knows." Students, your parents know this, even if they don't know the exact words. Each of us has that thing, that secret that sits inside waiting to be discovered. Yes, each of you have it within you to do great things. You only need to get started. So the next time you are asked to read a poem, be the author. And the next time you enter school on a day 4, recall your time at CMS and dab a little. Good luck to you all, and thank you very much. Mrs. Ratner, Mr. McKinney, I present to you Columbia Middle School's graduating class of this year, 2016.